And good morning, everybody. Today is Monday, November 23rd, and welcome to the Hawkeye session. Trading the foreign exchange on margin carries a high level of risk and may not be suitable for all investors. The high degree of leverage can work against you as well as for you. Before deciding to invest in the foreign exchange, you should carefully consider your investment objective, level of experience, and risk appetite. The possibility exists that you could sustain a loss of some or all of your initial investment, and therefore you should not invest money that you cannot afford to lose. You should be aware of all the risks associated with the foreign exchange trading and seek advice from an independent financial advisor if you have any doubts. This is a live trading room, is for educational purposes only. No financial advice or recommendation will be provided. Any trade taken during this live session is not a recommendation or a suggestion that you should also do the same. Past performance is not indicative of future results. Do not trade money you cannot afford to lose. And before trading live, always operate with a written trade plan that identifies rules for entries, exits, targets, and risk management. And with that, we're going to go to the charts. And we do not have any alerts yet today. So we will go and see what we have, see what we can come up with. And we have somebody coming in here.
Mr. Pedro.
Mr. Pedro, welcome. Let's see, stop sharing this one and we shall share. One thing that we want to keep them, make everybody know is that this is the time that if you ever decide to get TradingView or you want to extend your contract with TradingView, this is every year around this time they start having their Black Friday special. It's starting right now, up to 60% off. If you get the Pro Plus version, it's usually 50%. But you have 4 days, 18 minutes, and 18 hours and 55 minutes to make that selection and that choice. Anyway, I'm not to advertise, but I'm just saying this is the best deal they have every year. They do this, and if you're going to do it, now's the best time to subscribe to TradingView or extend your current contract. So let's the only thing I have here is we had we really haven't had any alerts this morning. The last one I showed that we had was 3:45 this morning with the U.S. Swiss, and but I did get a harmonic pattern was developed or was notified of the Aussie U.S. So I did draw the harmonic pattern. And you can see that these things actually do work pretty well. The pattern was, I'm not sure what time it came out, but it drew the pattern pretty much about where the C was developed. That was probably, so it probably came out about 6:30 this morning. But so anyway, I drew the harmonic. We had the X all the way down here. The A, here's the pullback to the B, came up to C. What I'd be looking at, one, I didn't look at taking this trade, and the reason why I did not is because there's not that much range. I think we're going to be looking at a rather relatively small, narrow range. But from the C to the bottom of where this trend line is, that was only 10 pips for the entire move. So even from where you would have entered right up in here, which this came up with a really nice little trap area, came right up, right to test that AB, or that AC trend line, came back down. This is the area that I'd like to see either. If you get in here, this would be the first target, this would be the second target. But even if you got the full length of the move, you're only looking at 11 pips, subtract your spread. It's just, I just like to see a little bit more room to take it. Now, the good news is that we did get the crossover of the 5 and 13 moving average. I'm on a 1 minute chart now. We did just get the break. This could be like a pass and check up here, and it could possibly come down to check this. This is the ultimate area where the D would end up if it goes for the full move of this. And you can see that that's going to be right around where the 30 period 62 moving average is. So I mean, this could still be a nice move. This would be the area to possibly get in. We have a pass and check coming in. You could possibly take that, but you could be looking at you have this bigger wedge area where you can see where it could be staying somewhat range bound here for quite a while. So I decided not to take the trade. I think this week is going to be a relatively slow week. There's a lot of people that are taking extra days off to travel for their Thanksgiving. The U.S. market of the U.S. Thanksgiving is Thursday, and a lot of people start taking off. And there's going to be, I don't think there's going to be a lot of enthusiasm in the market today. But who knows? We just have to play it by ear, see what it gives us. And let's see, where else do we have here? And that's about all I have to say about that. Any questions, comments, anything that anybody specifically would like to look at? I think this is going to be kind of a free-floating day today. If we get an alert, we'll take a look at it. If not, we'll try and develop our own and see what we can come up with.
Yeah, I'll see if I can find.
Sorry, I was just going to say, why don't we have a look at the British pound US?
Okay.
I just checked out the RCS and.
Yes, there was the RCS was actually showing the British pound US pretty strong move on that actually. If I look at the 15-minute chart, actually I did draw this out a little bit earlier. This is the upper wedge on a higher time frame. You'll see that we have a trend that's actually we have the upper trend, which is from all the way back here in October 21st. Here's the anchor. Here's the hit. Right now, it's retesting this trend line right now. Strong move overnight. We have our RCS or RSIs are here in the extreme. You can see even like the 8 period is all the way up here at the 80% range. So I'd be looking to see if what I'd be looking at is seeing if this thing comes up in hooks, and maybe be able to take it short to catch it down into this move. But right now it's still challenging this trend line. And if we look to see if there's a higher target up here, and here's where this was the high, this was all the way back in August. So right now it's really testing this wick right here. So we can go and draw that out. So this would be the supply zone that I'd be looking at for this one. Just going to take this right, just catch that whole wick area. This is the first time it's been retesting this supply zone. Let's see, where's my... And we come back to our 15-minute chart. And that whole wick or that daily time frame, let's see what the pip value of this wick is. That's almost, is that 100 pips? Yep, it's almost 100 pips right there. It is 100 pips. So this thing has some room to the upside. I would say I would be looking right now, I'd be looking at buying pullbacks as it gets into here, because it still has 100 pips that could go to the upside. Again, we're only trying to catch 5 of them. Let's see what our other indicators look like on this one. British US. You see anything special there, Matt, on this one?
I'm just trying to look through all the currency pairs real quick.
Yeah, we are at an extreme area in here, but I said within this, as far as the extreme goes, we still have 100 pips. That one wick on that daily chart was 100 pips wide. So that was back in August. So this is really just retesting that area. So we do have a trend line. This is breaching the trend line. I would expect this thing to come up, maybe retest a little bit, maybe break out and then come back and retest. So I'm kind of looking for something in this nature. Come on up, test it, come back down, maybe retest it, and then come back up, and then maybe it may start to break down. But right now, we're just have to wait and see what it brings here.
Yeah.
And it may come up a little bit, test it, come back up a little bit shorter, and then proceed on down. That way. So looking at right now, I'm on a 15-minute chart, and just really don't have any. I said if anything, we'd be looking at pullbacks, but remember, we're looking at pullback into a major supply zone.
Yeah, I'd be cautious.
Yeah, I have to wait for it to pull back, come back, and retest that high, maybe give you some divergence, and then look for it to come back down. But right now, you're really be rolling the dice in this one.
Yeah, definitely not. I have no appetite for going short with this currency pair. Let's put it that way. Not right now, anyway.
Yeah.
Um,
This thing could possibly create its own small little harmonic here. Come back down, pull back.
it's on a 1 minute though.
A lot of times when you get these, we were showing you a harmonic earlier. When you get the harmonic, oftentimes when you get a higher time frame harmonic, you'll get another small harmonic right at the end of that one before it breaks. So that I could almost see the potential of something like this on this one, where you have the strong move up, the pullback somewhere down in here, come back up, create your C, which is a little bit shorter than where your A is, and then come on it and then have a breakdown, which might align with this area. Maybe have this one be this one. Maybe a break retesting the 62, come back up, and then come down and retest this area down in here. But it's not there yet. So, but that's just a projection of what could possibly happen. And I'd be kind of keeping my eyes open for something like that. Maybe move this A over here a little bit higher. And so anyway, there's really nothing there that I would take at this point in time. Let's see how the Aussie trade's doing. Came back down, come back. It's right now. It's retesting this wedge here. It may actually be right now. It's coming back. Just I mean, it hasn't broken on the 1 minute. It hasn't really broken too much on this. So somewhat respecting this trend line as a point of reversal, perhaps. But again, like I said before, as we get further and further down this wedge, the profit range becomes less and less as well. And let's see, what else might we have here?
Euro
So-
US is acting in a similar fashion. It just had a big move up early this morning, and it's creating kind of a wedge at the top. It's looks like it might break to the top again, but nothing.
Yeah, I was looking at that one earlier too, Matt, and I was seeing, let's see, that was around 6, this little area right in here where it came up. It did break, but again, this is another good indication that this is just not a really good trade environment to be in. We had this range right here, which was about 4. I mean, that whole move was like 4 pips, came back down. That's 2 pips. So really, you're looking at a 7 pip range for about the last, since about, well, let's just take it from 6:30 this morning to now. It's only been trading within about a 5 to 6 pip range. And this is where you say, oh, there it is, there's a top, there's my trade, but it just doesn't go anywhere. And that's where you start chewing up your account when you start getting these little whipsaws where it breaks, it doesn't get you in, you pay your spread, comes back out, stops you out because you have a really tight stop. Then it gets you back in, you think, oh, it's going to break to the upside, and oh, no, it never really did. And you just keep on going back and forth and back and forth. And next thing you know, your account is now 10% less than what you started. And it really went nowhere.
Yeah, that would suck.
And that happens, right, Steve? That whole range there's only 8 pips.
Unfortunately.
Pay the dealer another 1.5 pips, pay that twice. And so you're at best, if you had to get just the exact fill, you might be able to get 5 pips out of that move, but it's just not enough. You just pretty much need to wait for it to break out of that and start trending. This is the overnight high. You take it to the overnight high, overnight low. Measure the distance. 10 pips. Now the overnight low, I mean, it did have a nice little move up from last night, but right now it's just stalling right in this area. And one thing that I started doing a little bit as well, and it sort of helps to give you an idea about what the price action is. Let's see, let me get this back over here. As I take a look at where the daily moves are, and I see where did it start, where did it stop. Just look at the, let's just start with the 1 hour chart. And if you look and see where each one of these, between these blue ranges are your day breaks, this is where, and I look and see where did, like for instance, this was Friday's price action. And the price actually, where it closed the day before was probably right around in here. Actually, use it on a 15-minute, will tell you where the price action closed. So this candle on, let's see, this was back on the 19th. The price actually closed right here. So this was the daily close. And then it opened up right below it. So we're going to mark that. So it actually gapped down a little bit at the open. This was the open. And then, so what you're looking at on this is that I'll draw what my daily range bars look like. And we come down here, and so this was the low. Let's bring this down here. This was the low of the day. And you come up here and put the high of the day. It was a red candle, but here's the high. And here was the low. And so right now you can see where it did break Thursday or Friday's high. And here's where we are right now. But here was the new day break. So this one started opened, closed down here. So the daily close was, this was Friday's close around that red bar. And this was Sunday's open, which was pretty much right about, let's see, well, it kind of 1, 2, 3. See what the time was on this one, 17 on 22nd. That was Sunday. This is Sunday's open.
Let me see.
This was Friday's close. So there was a little bit of there's a little from Friday to Sunday it stayed pretty much the same place. But basically what we're looking at now is like, this is pretty much all a green daily bar.
Yeah, I'm looking at UJ right now, seeing if I can do something.
And this one's going to go all the way out until about 4:30. So this is what the day's range is looking like. So right now it's pretty much, it broke Friday's, came in, somebody else retesting it. So if this thing breaks, it's probably going to be looking at maybe retesting the where the price opened if it does go a little bit lower. So I'd be looking at taking this thing short just for the fact it's there is a little bit of a trend upward, but looking at the higher time frame, again, you'll see where the daily actually will stop, and we're right into the wicks of this area.
Yeah, I'm just seeing if I can figure something out for UJ.
Okay. Let us know what you find. So right now we're just practicing drawing, practicing finding trades. Nothing's alerting us to anything right now, so it's this is where you just hone your skills about how to get your eyes looking to see if you can see anything that makes sense. It's always good to know where the higher time frame wicks are from several days back and see, because you know that's where price was rejected or where it was breaking through. And you see right now it's just sort of basing in here. And a lot of times if it's basing, you have a strong move up, basing, you probably get what I would expect to see happen. And again, it's only a projection, is that as it's basing here with the 10 pips, it would come up base, come up here, retest this, get everybody sucked into this area because no one's looking way to the left of here. Come in here, and this would be more of a trap area. Now, how much that area right in here is, let's see, this is only, pretty much takes you about 11 pips just to get about in the middle of the zone, see where our fib lines are. Take a look and see if there's anything there that would tell us anything. Here's a red line here. Wherever there's a blue line, that means it's a blue line on the other time frames. So this would be a 15-minute red.
I just adjusted my scale. I thought it was better than it was, but there's not enough volume to trade, so I'm not taking any trades. It's too flat.
Yep.
You're going to be in the trade for like 6 hours to get like 20 pips. So, see if we can find another currency pair. You were on GU earlier, right?
Yeah. Yeah, this
Okay.
one doesn't excite me too much here. The British pound.
Nope, doesn't excite me either.
Aussie, I mean, the Aussie is actually, kind of playing this harmonic that was generated. It's kind of nice to see this though.
Mm-hmm.
When these harmonics were generated, the C was protected. We had our trap, came back up, retested it, tested the trend line. Here was the entry. Again, like I said, I didn't take it because of the range value. But this is the ultimate target down here. But you're going to have some bouncing going on between here. So you have to be a little bit patient. It's not going to be, a lot of these just aren't going to be these really quick moves that we were seeing a few months back where it just comes in and just breaks. Oh, this was a nice little break right here. We didn't get any alerts for it from our alerted notification tool that we have. But
Pedro
technically,
had mentioned that.
so go ahead. Go ahead, Eva.
Pedro had mentioned that New Zealand seems to be creating a wedge.
Yeah.
Well, let's take a look at the New Zealand. Well, let me do another duplicate here.
So the U.S. Swiss is a write-off as well. It's only moved 5 pips in the last since like 6 a.m. I got UJ crossing a trend line. I'm gonna go see that.
Here's New Zealand. Here's where, okay, so we have a little bit, if you're looking at the last several days. It's been trending. Let's see, here's the low, here's the high, higher low, higher high, higher low. So there's a little bit of a wedge break on this one. Came back up, made a higher high, higher high. And when it makes the higher high during the daytime, let's see how much range does it have on a pullback. This one has a potential, had a potential of 64 pips, not too bad on that. But you can see where we have the trend, though, an upward trend. I like this one back here a little bit. Take that one. I'll take this peak right here. So there's that was a significant pullback, higher high, a retest down here. And then we have the trend going up. So I like this one right here. And so it's somewhat respecting. Here's an anchor, here's a hit, here's a hit, here's a hit. So right now it's respecting this upper wedge right in this area. That's on the 15-minute chart. So let's see here. How much room do we have to the upper trend line? And 17 pips.
Let me interrupt you there. I think Aussie US might be short.
Oh, it's been short.
No, I know, but there's a cross, and then there's a break to the downside for a wedge that I just drew. And let me see. This might be an entry. What's that? Let me go see on the 1 minute. I might play with that. I don't know. Let me see. I'm so hesitant because price is not moving amazingly.
So I'm going to take a look out here, see what this XB trend would have been.
26. So
this is where the C was developed. There's a trend line. This was the retest. But that angle was too steep. We didn't get the alert till then. I didn't want to, because you also knew that good chance it was going to come back and retest that trend line.
I think if it slices your bottom trend line out, if it breaks to B, yeah, maybe.
Yeah, right now I see if it broke this, then we could possibly have a good trade down to this area.
I'm still not convinced though, but
I'm still not going to take it. It's just, if I was going to take it, I would take it up here, willing to get my 10 pips to this one, but I think we may see another little. This was a nice little move right here where you could see where it passed and checked the trend line.
I just shared my screenshot in the chat just so you could see it. What I drew and what it looked like. It's a little bit different, right?
A little bit different.
Pretty valid trend lines, valid breach.
This is still the same trend line, which I believe I drew off the harmonic.
I think so.
You think?
I think it's a little different. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is a little different. Yours is
mine's up a bit lower. I've had mine on there for a while at this point.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah, I didn't just draw it. It's been there for a while. I have I've been playing around with an indicator that throws higher highs and lower lows on your chart. So when you have higher highs, lower lows, you can draw a wedge. I'm testing it out to see how if you can get some nice trades out of it. But
This is actually working out to be a nice, it would have been a nice little trade. I said, again, I didn't take it. I didn't feel that comfortable with the range of it today.
yeah, we had a nice clean cross, which is good. You know what? Kiwi US might be going short as well. It looks like it's got higher highs, but it looks like this might be the end of that run.
We did get a harmonic on the UJ.
Recently?
Yeah, about 8:15.
Yeah, I
about
see the
15 minutes
W.
ago.
I see the W.
Here's the harmonic on this one. We may want to draw this one out. This one might give us a little bit of the same picture that the Aussie did.
Yeah, well the currency pair is moving like crap right now. You see you're on a 15-minute chart, you're struggling to get 2-pip channels. Which means that there's no 2-pip scale. So there's no volume.
This candle close was where the alert came out, where this thing was drawn on the alert. It came out 8:15. It's already halfway up out of the C area. Basically, what this thing is looking at is looking for it to come up to where the D area, this entry of 103.80, to go short with a target of 103.76. Target 2 is 103.73, but they're waiting for it to come on up into this zone first. A lot of times when we get these alerts, I like try and take it out from the C to the D move, which is kind of what we would have been doing with this Aussie.
Yeah, I think
this thing may make it all the way down to the D before the day is over.
Yeah, it could. But for me, that's too late to enter.
Oh yeah.
I'm not entering a trade that late.
And again, from here to, even if it looks like it bounces off the 62, 30 minutes 62. Let's see how much room we have here. Again, that's 10 pips. So, I mean, all in all, this is a 20 pip move. That'd be 21 pips, 80 bars in an hour and 22 minutes for 22 pips. If it comes all the way down there, it's probably going to get a bounce off of this trend. Any questions? Anybody want to see something that we haven't discussed yet? So there really isn't much to discuss until we get some alerts or try to find something that we want to try to trade. But like I said, I'm not overly excited about the volume and the range of these trades.
Yeah, there doesn't seem to be too much going on, really.
No. Let's see, I was looking at the S&P. Anyway, that's interested in trading that. I'm just going to take this off since we already mentioned that. This could be possible. It had a nice little move down earlier today. It's like this could be coming up to retest this little area right in here. This was Friday, Thursday. This was Wednesday's high. I say with this, we are looking at, here's a trend line right from here to the B. Now I just hand drew this one, so it's not a, just kind of how I'm seeing this thing where it has a high, low, a high, nice big range here, came back in, retested this area, nice 60% pullback coming back up. Didn't take out the A, and I was looking at this as being a possible trap up in here. This is retesting this area. Couldn't break through here, come up, retest it. This could give us a nice run up. This could be our ABC retracement before it breaks down lower. If you were to take a trade up here, you can use your stop just above that. You have a small risk with a possible risk reward could be significant. The range on this between the A and the B is $11, which is would be a nice little move for the day. On the upside, we have all these little wicks right up in here. Here's the highest wick. Here's the retest. We'd have to get through that. I like this strong move up coming up right into this area. I haven't used these harmonics too much. I'm just getting used to using them. So every time I see the opportunity to draw one out, I use it and see how often it comes into the area that I'm looking at for that trap to hold. So he came right up to where that C was and getting rejected it.
Hey Al,
Yes.
I've got to take a quick call here.
Okay.
It-
You may be excused.
Thank you.
Yeah, good to go.
Back in a bit.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks for the heads up.
Actually, there was a harmonic for the gold earlier. Let's take a look at that one, see if that one makes any sense. So we haven't been trading gold or the S&P much at all, but it's maybe worth taking a look at them. Gives our eye something to train on. And so here's the harmonic. So let's go and I'll draw this out on a gold pair. Let me move this over. And we're going to go with gold. Oops, this is a this one over out of the way. This was Matt's. I'm going to take that one off. And we're going to see if we can find gold someplace here. And let's see, we have all the drawing tools off of here. And we're looking at the X being, see, 15-minute chart, 15-minute chart. The X was at 2:45 this morning. It'll be right around here, so that's the top of the X. And we came down to the A. There's the B right here. And the C came down to this one, which I don't really like this pattern I'm not overly excited about this one.
No,
And then it
looks
comes
like
on
it's
up this area.
no.
It sort of took out the C.
Yeah, I don't like it.
But one thing you could do with this one then is you just draw your AC trend line. And then when you get the break of this trend line, then you go for you have a trend line right here. I kind of like this as a little bit of a wedge here, like this. And if you can get it to break, when it closes inside this little area right in here, you could maybe take a shot at that possibly. But this one could keep on coming on down lower. You actually have a strong trend down, and we'd parallel this angle with the bottom of that and see where it comes out over here. This is pretty much the channel that it's trading in right now. Once it breaks out of this channel, you might have a little chance up around this area, but that's the way I'd be looking at that one. How's our S&P doing? Ooh, nice. That was a nice little. That was a perfect setup on that. And to start taking those. That just dropped like a rock right up here. It came right up to the trap area. Just dropped. That was a strong move and 15-minute move. What time was that? That was at 8:45. We never did check our announcements or our Let's see. Trying to find the, I'll find it. Look another place. And we didn't check our Forex factory today. There's a Forex factory. This is okay. This is Monday. A lot of red folders here. Europe at 3:30, 10:30. We've got one here with the British monetary policy report. So keep an eye on that. Other than that, it's fairly quiet. Hey, and I see we have Tyler in the room today. Good morning, Tyler. So we're still looking for some alerts to come through. Last one I have was on November 20th with the U.S. Swiss.
Yeah, there's no alerts, so we're just messing around trying to see if we can have a make a trade setup here. Tyler, here, I'm gonna bring you over here. Hold on. I just brought you over as a panelist, Tyler. So if you want to talk or anything, just feel free.
It's been a slow morning, no IRIS alerts, so we're just taking and looking to see what we can use some of our tools that we have in our toolbox to see if we can find some trades. But I think it's going to be a pretty quiet week this week, I have a feeling. At least this Monday morning is. We've had a few trade setups, but nothing that it wasn't any alerts, and also the range wasn't there. So we haven't. We did have one nice one for the Aussie US that was set it up, but we really didn't take it because I was pretty much only looking at. It was hanging out within about 10 pip range. We're not seeing a lot of volume, so this one would have actually worked out pretty well. This one that we didn't take.
Yeah, it's all right though.
Look how it came down within a couple pips of our the 30 minutes 62. And with our FIB tools, it came right, and here's our 15-minute or our FIB line right here. Let's go on a 15-minute chart. See how far it came down on that one. Here's a blue fib line. Here's the green one. This is 60 pip range in there. And it probably came right down into the 5-minute. And just tagged the green 5-minute fib line. And this was your 21 pip move range right here. Here's a red line. Here's a green one. That's trading inside this range, 21 pips.
Yeah, it's too tight for me to take a trade.
Yeah, the trade happened up here.
Yeah.
Much. Actually, when I broke this trend line, this was a little bit of your wedge off the harmonic. Here was your trap. Here was the break of that. Here was your wedge break and retest. And then the target was pretty much down here. Any comments, any requests, any questions, any pairs anybody would like to see? We can take them and draw them out and see what we have.
Yeah, it looks like it might be a free for all.
About 8 minutes before the 9 o'clock hour. A lot of times we get some good moves before 9 o'clock or right around the 9 o'clock hour. Maybe we'll get an alert. And on this Aussie US, we just got a completed entry for the 73.16 on the Aussie. 73.16, which is right here. And there's looking for a target. Again, I'm not taking this because I haven't used this enough to have a track record on it yet. Push bet. I don't like that one. Sometimes you just have to sit on our hands and wait for the setups, wait for the alerts, and just keep practicing drawing wedges and triangles and get a feel for the market. Now let's take a look at our CS tool and see if we can find something that might give us some And as we're looking at the different time frames, we have, so here's my 3 hour, 30 minute, 15 minute, and 5. And looking to see which pair is the dominant. Right now, on all time frames, the British pound is the strongest pair, and the Aussie is the weakest on 3 of the 4. So you could maybe try like the British Aussie, see what kind of a range we could have with that one. So let's go take a look at that. So we go over here to the British Aussie pair and take a look and see what the range is. This is on a daily. You can see basically it's got a little bit of a trend going on here on the daily for the last several days. Let's see if it's going to continue, or we have a little downtrend over here. So we have a high, a low, a higher high, a higher low. And it's down to a 1 hour chart. And see what the daily price action has been. So there was the anchor, here's a hit, here's a hit. This validates that trend line. There's a nice strong wick before the nice move down. So we're looking at starting to test this area right in here. Come to a 15-minute chart. So we're going to be very careful. If it comes up into, gets up in this area, we may be looking for a short up in this area. And from here's a low. This was way back on the 17th of November. That was like last Tuesday a week ago. Made a higher high, higher high, higher low. So we'll tweak this area down a little bit. And we'll parallel this and see what we can have for a channel. That's not too bad right here. And it comes, so right now, if it comes up to the top of this channel, it's right up into that supply zone, I'd be looking at taking it short up in this area. But right now, being in the middle of the channel, it's hard to say which way, how far it's going to go to. If you have a really, you don't have the ability to have a really tight stop in this area between this move. And that's 155 pip area. Like this was basically drawn off of a several days, the channel. And when we come looking at how it opened up for the day, this was Sundays. This is Monday morning here. This is the price action since it opened on Sunday night. So it actually opened up, this was the open right here. And it came down a little bit of a red candle down here. Take this over to the close of today. So that's the low for the day, and then we have S making new highs, and we'll see how high it will go before it corrects back. But you can see us making, this is a nice little move today. Strong move up, looks like it's starting to consolidate a little bit right here. At this point, I'd be looking to see if it can draw a little bit, form a little bit of a harmonic where we have the strong move up from the day up to a high. See if it comes back and makes a retracement of about 50%. Comes back up and retests the A. Maybe it might go up a little bit higher. Put that back by 86%, and then come on down to maybe retest this area down here. We don't know where this A is going to come out, how low this B will go, but we'll just have to, this is what I'm looking at before I would try to get into this trade, try and find out where the high of this is. See if there's a Fibonacci line somewhere up in here. Here's a red fib line right here on the 15-minute. And here's the blue. Okay, and here's what I like about this one is we have a 15-minute blue fib line right up here. It's up in the supply zone. It's up right near the top of the wedge. I would be looking to try and find a short up in this area. Now, this thing could be just trending, so it may be able to possibly take some, get a couple of long trades. I wouldn't want to take it short at this point in time. There's still 35 pips to get to the top of that. This could just be a pullback. We did have the 15-minute red line, passed it, checked it, came back up, passed it. Mark the 15-minute blue. These are just all tools that we have in our toolbox to be able to determine where some of these target zones are going to be. I'm back on my 15-minute chart or my 5-minute chart. Any questions? I feel like I'm talking to myself.
Yeah, there's nothing. I can't find anything that would be worth trading at this point for myself.
Yeah, this thing's just not quite ready to go short yet. Let me get some labels over here so we can see, make sure we know which one's which. There you go, indicator name labels. Let's click on that. That should get us our labels up here. So green one's the Aussie, the white one is the British pound. Actually, that should be purple. Got a purple in there. Let's put a purple on the other one. Actually, I kind of like this move off of here. Well, you'd have to be careful with this pair is we've got a 3-point spread on this.
A 12-point spread. That depends
No, 3-point
what
spread.
broker you're using. No, I know the Pedro. Yeah, you really can't trade a 12-point spread.
Yeah, was that at the end of the day, Pedro? Because a lot of times when they close the market for that half hour between on the day breaks, you'll see those spreads get. I've seen it go as high as 15
20.
pips on some pairs.
I've seen 15, 20, especially at the end of the day. Yeah, that's why you don't take any trades after 4 o'clock.
Or a lot of times on Sunday night when the market opens, you wait a couple hours because the spreads are usually so wide because they're trying to adjust their positions for the what they're looking at for the over weekend news or overnight news and things like that. So they'll widen the spreads quite a bit. And no matter what position you have, you'll get stopped out. If you have a really tight spread stop, then they'll grab your stop and just by the spread alone will take it out. That's why I usually try to be out of my trades by the end of the day and wait for the market to reopen again.
Mm.
Is that right? The last alert we had was on Friday at 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
I think so.
If you're looking at a wave count on this from this X to where I have the projected A is, you can almost see that that's almost a 5 wave count. Here's I had a nice little down move, came back in. There's wave 1, wave 2. Wave 3 is higher than wave 1. Here's wave 4 pullback. And then wave 5 is somewhere up here, probably a little bit shorter than wave 3. And if you do a stick off of that wave 3, you can maybe project where wave 5 is going to be. And it's probably going to be somewhere right around in where it is, right here. Let's say a little bit more of a wick on that. And right here would be our 5-minute fib line. In between here and here should be 21 pips. And it is. Here's a 5-minute green. And a 5-minute red up there. And if we draw right in between the range between the red and the green, we're right back smack dab in the middle. Here's a, and this is getting to where it's starting to get a little bit consolidated. And so this is the middle third of that range right in here. Now we're going to go for about 10 more minutes and then we're going to wrap this thing up. Anybody have any questions, last comments, anything that they'd like to see, not see? Type in the chat, question box. Give me something.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just crickets.
Yeah, it's quiet today. Not really a lot of activity.
Oh, there's something. Oh, Leslie says, poor Al. LOL.
It's been painful today.
Yeah.
Thank you, Leslie, for at least saying something.
Yeah, I know.
I don't care what it is, just something. Actually, there was a nice move on the S&P. Actually, there was a couple of actually nice moves today. It just I didn't trust taking the trades. I do think this British Aussie pair, even though this wasn't an alert, I think it has the potential of getting up to this area. But I think it's going to be kind of a struggle from here on in.
Wow, look at that crazy candle on the S&P from 8:30.
Yeah, I saw that. It's I don't know what caused that one.
Yeah.
Anybody has any of these other EAs? They're probably not getting much activity on those either. I haven't seen much of anything on Gearbox or Variable or Alexander or anything like that. I haven't seen much movement.
No, there really hasn't been. Not today.
So I kind of suspect it's going to be a quiet week this week.
Will the markets be closed Thursday and Friday?
It'll be closed Thursday. Friday should not be a Friday. The market should be open on Friday. I just don't know you're going to get a lot of activity just because of being the holidays. Most people are still in vacation holiday mode. Actually, the trade of the day was actually this little, and it wasn't an alert. It was just a harmonic that we got. This was really the best trade we had, or it could have had. I said again, I didn't take it, but I'm checking these harmonics out a little bit closer as I get these alerts. I'm drawing them out and just seeing where the, especially like on these Gartley patterns. I think they're worth paying attention to. This would have worked out well on this one. It would have worked out well on the S&P. So I'm going to start paying a little bit more attention. I'm going to actually start taking those trades. We have the same pattern here on the S&P. Nice move up, pull back, came back up, created our C. This was generated by the harmonic patterns. Had our trap, came up to the trap, and then just dropped right off. That was the move of the day for the S&P, I believe. That was 17 pip move. If you're trading the futures, that 17 pip move would be a $50 per dollar move. So that would be about an $800 move on one contract. That was the trade of the week. And I said this Aussie, like I said, that was a nice little entry. It came out good. Just it may not have even gotten in, or it came so close to that trend line. But certainly did hit, and the target one off this bounce off the D. The bounce, the first target was right about pretty much right where this trend line is here.
All right, guys, I think I'm going to duck out a couple minutes early. I forgot that it's garbage day.
Oh, okay.
And I didn't take the garbage out yet.
In more ways than one.
Yeah. So have a good day, everybody.
Okay, all right, Eva. We'll talk to you later.
All right.
All right.
And,
We'll catch you guys later.
well, we'll stick around for the market open for another 5 minutes, and we'll see what happens. See if it gives us anything to go on, and we'll wrap this thing up for the day.
Yeah, I think that would be a good idea.
Oh, good, Pedro. Yeah, I think you'll be happy with the Trading View. I says, I can't think of it. There's no better time of the year to subscribe to it. If you have a subscription already, like I said, all they do is they just extend your subscription for another year, so you don't lose anything by what you have. They just add it to your current timeline.
Yeah. So Pedro, the other thing, Pro Plus is where you're gonna get like 4 time charts up at once. It's the one that I think is generally the best bang for your buck. It's not as expensive as the most expensive one, but it gives you quite a bit of features compared to the Pro. So it just depends on what
It gives you
your
more
budget
indicators.
allows. Yeah.
I think the Pro Plus gives you maximum of four charts up at one time and 8 indicators, I think.
I believe so. Something around those lines.
And let's go take a look at the Euro US at the market open here. But it was a nice trade. And the market's opening up. Let's take a look and see what the S&P is doing on the open. Coming back up and retesting the trap. Be curious to see if this thing comes up and retests the trap again, i.e. the trend line. Had this little wick right up here, came up, retested the wick, a strong pullback after that.
Well, I think I'm going to end it here, my friend.
Yes,
for today, nothing really.
We're going to wrap this thing up, and thanks for hanging in there with us today. It's been pretty quiet, but I appreciate everybody sticking out, and we'll see everybody tomorrow.
All right. Catch you guys all later. Have a great day.